We are live for week 106 of Nemesis. I'm Alex in the charge, joined by, you know him and you love him, Scott Sykes, everybody.
Hey everyone, and what a match we have tonight. We have a foregone conclusion coming right up next as Amber Arcade takes on Rosa Washington in the Supremacy Cup. So Rosa looking to establish a 3-1 lead.
True. Amber Arcade currently fighting to not pull a Carolyn Hale and not go 0-5 in the Supremacy Cup.
The question is, can Amber get it done?
Rosa Washington, I must say I'm impressed for her debut matches being in the Supremacy Cup. She's currently one of the few people on Nemesis that have a chance of winning this thing.
The opening match of Nemesis is set for one fall and is part of the Supremacy Cup. Introducing first, weighing 172 pounds, from Cardiff, Wales, Amber Arcade.
Amber Arcade, who going into the Supremacy Cup, I must say, it was pretty easy to say that she would have been a favorite to win the whole thing. But it appears that whatever bad luck has followed her since her loss to Cal Valen has continued all the way here into the Supremacy Cup.
I mean, that's the thing with Amber. She's not done too well throughout the Supremacy Cup, sitting at 0 wins and 3 losses. And I'm not sure that's going to change here tonight against someone who's shown that she's quite a dominant competitor in the ring in the form of Rosa Washington.
Yes, Rosa Washington, in her first debut match, injuring Carolyn Hale, who, as far as we know, may never be seen again. And now Amber Arcade, currently going 0-3, she's got to be a little bit worried going into this matchup.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Let's see what she can pull off here tonight.
And her opponent, Rosa Washington.
And here she comes, Rosa Washington. As you say, she has been on a roll since debuting in the Supremacy Cup, and she's established herself as one of the key members in the women's roster here on Nemesis, with 2 wins and only 1 loss. She is up on the game, and tonight she's looking to make that 3 wins.
This is almost reminiscent of last year's Supremacy Cup when Scout McKenzie debuted, well, not debuted, but had her first few matches on Vindication in the Supremacy Cup. And then we see how big of a star she is now.
Indeed, she was the standout person on the Vindication roster for the Supremacy Cup, and I mean,
besides Cal.
Besides Cal, of course.
As Amber, though, not going down lightly.
Well, that's the thing about Amber Arcade. She doesn't go down without a fight, although she did go down from that drop kick to the knee.
True, and we've seen Rosa have that, frankly, devastating, almost disgusting, one may say, ankle lock.
Yeah, an alley-oop reversal there from Amber Arcade. Rosa Washington having to roll out to get a bit of distance. But was it a tactical move? Yes, with a shin smasher right there on the outside.
Well, we know of Amber's history with countouts. Maybe that's what Rosa's going for here.
Leaves the middle, and then a Frankensteiner from Rosa Washington.
Rosa, I can't state enough how impressed I've been with Rosa since her debut here on Nemesis. As we see her lock in, almost a form of the ankle lock here, Amber might have to tap out very quickly into the matchup.
Inverted figure 4 there, but Amber Arcade able to punch her way out of the situation.
And it must be said, although she was a favorite going into this Supremacy Cup, Amber Arcade by no means has ever been considered a dominant competitor. In almost every match she has been in, she has been considered the underdog.
And that hasn't changed here tonight. Even though the new person she's against is our new debutee, Rosa's got a record that would say otherwise.
True, but I think that's also part that endears Amber not just to the fans, but to people in the back, is the fact that although she goes to every match as the underdog, very often she's able to turn things around and come out looking as dominant as ever.
Rosa Washington was able to go to a headlock there and avoid it, and another shin breaker from Washington.
It's just targeting the leg. Rosa Washington, it must be said, Amber Arcade might be a bit lucky that she's getting Rosa this late into the bracket, not having to worry about a knee injury for the rest of the tournament.
Sending Amber into the corner, and a drop kick to follow up from Washington. And Amber's been on the back foot for a majority of this match, and a chop block takes down Arcade.
Yes, and right now, Amber might just want to take the pinfall and not have to deal with more leg damage, but choosing to kick out.
Washington now calling for the end, grabbing the leg. There it is.
The ankle. And now cinches it in. Amber Arcade locked in that ankle lock. Tap or snapper at the
And
moment.
that's it.
And forced to tap out.
And there we go, Amber Arcade notches a fourth loss into her column, while Rosa Washington gets a third victory notched in her.
Listen now, Rosa, not that far out of first place. Her winning the Nemesis bracket is not too far-fetched.
No, that is a definite possibility at this stage in the competition.
No, she sits at 3-1. Her
Correct.
final match is against current bracket leader, Holly Queen. So she's going to have the hardest hill to climb should she want to win.
The winner of the match, Rosa Washington.
The Doctor is in tonight as he's looking to take on Ryan Blaze, as the Doctor wants to show that he should have been chosen to face BMS at Verdict.
Yes, if you remember back to Verdict, it isn't too long of a memory, so don't worry. But John Spartacus was the one to win the fan vote, and then proceeded to demolish BMS and his title reign in under 2 minutes.
Well, is the Doctor hoping to practice some Roman medicine in the future? We'll find out.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing 150 pounds, from Tijuana, Mexico, Dr. Wrestling Jr.
PhD chants have begun to ring out around the arena as Dr. Wrestling Jr. makes his way down to the ring.
Always a fan favourite with the Doctor in the house. Very rarely do you see this man being booed. He seems to be his approval rating seems to be unanimous. That's not surprising. However, I want to bring this up. He is in the running for potentially being the next #1 contender for the Nemesis Heavyweight Championship, and he has beaten John Spartacus before.
Yes, if you remember back to the triple threat the week before Verdict, he not only beat John Spartacus, but he beat the Tornado. He beat both of the other possible challengers.
Doctor is not one to be sniffed at. He definitely has degrees in not just medicine but wrestling athletics.
Yes, a former Nemesis World Champion looking to get back into the hunt here tonight.
And his opponent, Ryan Blaze.
Coming down to the ring with purpose is one other than Ryan Blaze, looking to definitely blaze a trail here tonight as he takes on the Doc.
And I must say, Ryan Blaze looking a bit different from the last time we seen him.
Certainly had a bit of a makeover, and there's a different aura surrounding him.
True, and I assume still a member of the Disciples, but you've got to wonder if there's maybe a bit of distaste that he wasn't considered for the poll and verdict to decide which members of the Disciples would be fighting.
I think tonight he's looking to show that he should have been part of the choices to be issued onto verdict, and let's see if he can take on Dr. Wrestling Jr. or if the Doctor will prescribe some pain here tonight.
Both men get ready here. Must say, Ryan Blaze, although he's been known to be quite the competitor, no gold has been found around his waist just yet, whereas Dr. Wrestling Jr., former Twitch champion and a former World champion. As Dr. Wrestling Jr. begins to move behind and takes Ryan Blaze down to the ground, the technical wrestling prowess of Dr. Wrestling Jr., but now Blaze gets into it, into the headlock here, and Blaze, we've seen him be quite the competitor. He's pulled off what many would consider upsets in the past, and you have to wonder, with Ryan Blaze's track record, would really a win against Dr. Wrestling Jr. be an upset here tonight? We'll have to find out as he hits that big moonsault drop kick there. Dr. Wrestling Jr. continuing the assault elbow drop across the chest of Ryan Blaze as the Doctor prescribing some pain to Ryan here tonight. Definitely wonder if there's still some tension from the fact that Sicario, the leader of the Disciples, was the one that lost. Was the one Dr. Wrestling Jr. beat to win the Twitch title. Could that be fueling Ryan's motivations here tonight as he takes Dr. Wrestling Jr. to the ground? But Dr. Wrestling Jr. not staying down for long. Continuing with the drop kicks, continuing with the attack. Gonna want to be looking for many moves that could put him away. Whereas Ryan, he's been known to put people away with that fisherman buster of his. And now, these two just going tit for tat right now. Neither one really getting the upper hand for very long. As Dr. Wrestling Jr. gets into the headlock, kicks the leg, maybe setting up for his knee bar in future. Don't want to make Ryan tap out. But Ryan, again, these two, back and forth, neither one staying down for long. Ryan sending Dr. Wrestling Jr. off the ropes, drop kick to the knee, targeting the leg himself. And now, wrench back to the elbow, stomping his elbow into the mat, goes into the cover. One, no, damage not yet done to Dr. Wrestling Jr. as he continues to stomp away on the body of the Doctor. But the Doctor not staying down. As these two going back and forth with the running knee right to the face. And I think Dr. Wrestling Jr. is calling for the end here. He sets him up, knee to the head, up on the shoulders. Apple a day to Ryan Blaze. Into the cover, 1, 2, and that's going to be it. No! Ryan Blaze picks up his shoulder off the mat. And Blaze fighting back into this one. Into a wrestling style takedown there. As Ryan Blaze continues, catches breath a bit after hitting with that onslaught of knees and that apple a day. Ryan Blaze, butterfly position here. Butterfly gutbuster. Knocking the wind out of Douglas Jr. and Ryan Blaze calling for the end here. And a big, an STO DDT almost. And Ryan admiring his work before going into the pin. That could be it. 1, 2. No, as Douglas Jr. kicks out at 2. These men just going back and forth here tonight. There's Ryan Blaze again targeting the arm. While wrestlers meet their arm strength to be able to push out of the cover. And DDT taking Ryan Blaze to the ground as Doctor clearing up the operating table here. Goes for his 630 but misses. And Ryan tried to capitalize on crash and burn and give Ryan to steal one. No. Not enough to keep the Doctor down. And then we see, again, why Ryan Blaze is very underrated by a lot of people here. He's a very smart wrestler. We saw him duck out of the way of that 630. And now, Dr. Jr. bringing Ryan to his feet. Maybe looking for another apple a day. As he sends him off the corner. Jumps over, misses the clothesline. Hits him with the clothesline of his own as Dr. Jr. is fired up. A chance of PhD have begun to ring out across the arena. Goes to the ring again, but no! Caught into an arm drag by Ryan Blaze. Ryan Blaze almost caught Dr. Wrestler Jr. sleeping there. And now looks to finish off the good Doctor. Turning him over and locking in an armbar. Will Dr. Wrestler Jr. tap out here tonight? We've seen him be punishing that elbow throughout the match. And now Dr. Jr. fighting out of it. As now, picking him up. Big slam onto the ground. Dr. Jr. dragging him to the center of the ring. Targeting the arm. But now Ryan getting to his feet. European uppercut. These two going to war with each other. And now, butterfly DDT. Douglas Jr. and Douglas Jr. might be out sleeping.
I think he might indeed be out cold there,
Ryan Blaze stalks his opponent here. Douglas Jr. just trying desperately to get to his feet. And Blaze catches him, spinning DDT. That could be it. 1, 2, 3.
Ryan
As
Blaze.
Ryan Blaze picks up a major upset here tonight against Dr. Wrestling Jr.
Indeed,
Ryan Blaze proving his worth here, not just to the disciples, but here on Nemesis. And this could set him up in future for a Twitch or even a world title shot with this big win.
Indeed, getting a win over the Doctor is no small feat.
Move I've personally not seen before. Beautifully executed by Ryan Blaze, catching Dr. Wrestling Jr. out of nowhere later into the match and able to put him down.
The winner of the match, Ryan Blaze.
Coming up next,
we've got the Order in tag team action against the Disciples here tonight. The Order feels like they were robbed in their number one contenders match. They feel like the ref should have noticed the submission getting broken up. Well, tonight we get to see if they had gotten their chance against the Disciples. Would they have won? Would they have been the current unified tag team champions?
Well, all that counts is victories, and unfortunately the Order went to stack up. Let's see if they can get it done here tonight.
The following match is a tag team match, set for one fall. Introducing first, the gorgeous Ricky Valentine, and Ace Anderson, the Order.
Coming down to the ring, Ace Anderson and Ricky Valentine, the Order, looking to submit their way to a tag team title shot.
Let's see if they can get it
Yeah,
done.
Ricky Valentine, everyone knows Ricky Valentine and his accolades, but there's one thing he has not yet achieved, the tag team titles. Ace Anderson yet to win any gold here in the CWL. Both these men are hungry for some championship. Could that hunger propel them to beat Sicario and Brian Adams here tonight?
Let's just hope that Ricky doesn't get sunburned so much standing.
They await the tag team champions coming down to the ring.
And their opponents, your CWL Tag Team Champions, the Disciples.
Making their way down, creeping towards the ring, Sicario and Brian Adams, two members of the Disciples. We saw Ryan Blaze pick up a win not too long ago. Could we see the same for the Disciples? We didn't see that at Verdict, when they seemingly had all the odds in their favor. They are facing only one man. That man did not know which two people he'd be facing here tonight, and also Michael Young, who was the person that upset the Disciples, was possibly had a bad knee from the match not too long ago. The Disciples must have gotten very much so underestimating Michael Young, and I think now they need to be more focused and more driven than they've ever been if they want to make up for that loss. It's going to be Ace Anderson and Sicario starting off this matchup.
Here we go.
As Ace Anderson immediately into a schoolboy powerbomb, slamming Sicario down onto the mat.
Ace Anderson not letting up as he just goes out really out the gate against Sicario. Irish whip into the corner, and now looking to capitalise. And almost a Saito driver there.
Yes, Ace Anderson going out hot and heavy, but Sicario countering with that neck breaker.
There we go, locking up with the leg lock.
Yes, but Ace, it's very early into the match. I think that was more for damage, but I don't think Ace was going to be tapping out that quickly as he hits an arm drag, launching Sicario across the ring.
Now look at that. Look at the athleticism there from Ace Anderson.
And we've seen Ace Anderson, we've seen the athleticism, we've seen almost an air of cockiness to him, but it seems although he's great on Nemesis, whenever the chips are down, so to speak, whenever it really matters, Ace Anderson has not been able to pick up the big win. He couldn't win at Shadowband in the tag team title match. He could not win at Battle Lines, and he couldn't win at 0 Hour. All through those massive matches.
Off the rope
None
with
of them win.
a double flapjack there from Sicario and Brian Adams. Punch to the gut though gets Ace Anderson back in control, and now with a backbreaker into a neck breaker.
And a double flapjack, possible homage to their tag team partner, Flapjack Carter, who will be competing in the main event later tonight.
Spear!
Brian Adams taking down Ricky Valentine. Ricky, I think, a little too used to spears based off last year's ending.
I think Ricky would be lucky if he never sees another one, but he might end up in the running for the heavyweight championship. We don't know. But right now the focus is on the tag gold.
True, but with the battle for supremacy just around the corner, with John Spartacus also being the world champion, if Ricky Valentine's win, we could see the run back from last year.
Indeed, it could be a fascinating thing to experience. Of course, the battle for supremacy in a few weeks' time, 30 men all battling it out to get their shot at the Nemesis Heavyweight Championship or the Vindication Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, but right now I don't think Ricky Valentine's too worried about either of those titles. I think he's worried about the series of strikes that was just laid into him. Hitting more strikes than a professional bowler. The Disciples are currently on top in this one as he locks in that arm lock, leg lock once more.
Ricky Valentine fighting out of it.
Yes, Ricky Valentine, much like Sicario, former Twitch champion in his own right. However, he lost to a member of the Disciples with Blackjack Carter. So Ricky and the Disciples don't have the greatest history.
And these two go way back, a long way, up until about Battle Lines at year 1, when it was the Disciples versus the Order, the original Order.
I've never seen a double powerbomb. Homage to, as you said, an original Order member, Maverick Dallas, God bless his soul.
The powerbomb party has started.
Yes, now Sicario looking to end the party as soon as possible with that drop kick to the side of the head. And Ace getting back into it. No, Sicario getting around these two going tit for tat right now.
Once again sent into the corner, not where Ace wants to be, but able to get the upper hand against Sicario, and now sending Sicario into the Order's corner.
As Ace tags out to Ricky. No, sending him off the ropes. Drop toe hold. I thought he was going for the elbow drop. But there we see the knee to the head.
Good tag act night, but I think these Disciples might have the upper hand here.
They're sending him back into the corner. This is smart. Brian Adams has not had a moment to get into this match. Sicario has taken all the punishment.
Another tag move coming up here.
And another power bomb. More shades of Maverick Dallas focus his soul.
Oh, Sicario makes the tag.
Makes the tag that he needed. It's Brian Adams coming in, trying to get some offense going.
But Ace Anderson just too fast for him, it seems.
Oh, finally landing that drop kick, and Ace is right back up into another drop kick. And now a big leg to the side and a kitchen sink to follow up.
These two are just going at it right now. Ace Anderson looking to get the upper hand, but no. Brian Adams now powerbomb position. Looking to do a powerbomb of his own. Here we go. Sit out powerbomb.
Sit out powerbomb to Ace Anderson, crashing into the mat. There's a cover too. No. And now Brian Adams, headlock applied, trying to wear down the, what makes it the faster, less strong Order member. And now super kick laying out Ace Anderson into the cover. 1, 2, no. No. Brian Adams, knee drop to the head of Ace Anderson.
As a knee drop, and I think this is where things will start to swing in more the favour of the Disciples. But as I say, that Ace Anderson with a European uppercut, and then go for the knee, but dodged by Brian Adams. Oh, and the dropkick dodged by Ace Anderson, up on the shoulders.
Went for the Uchi-Gurushi, but able to be dodged by Brian Adams into the reverse DDT. Now, lifting him up into almost like a leg, a leg lock there.
Definitely keeping the pressure on Ace Anderson. Kind of wear him down. Oh, but Ace able to get out of it.
Yes, Ace rolls out. Brian Adams lifts him up into a rolling Death Valley driver immediately into the cover. 1, 2, Ricky here to break it off, but able to break it off this time.
Just in time was Ricky Valentine, but looks like Brian Adams is calling for the end right now. Super kick.
Super kick. Once again laying out Ace Anderson, but Ricky Valentine once more is there to break it up. And Brian Adams he's got to be wondering what it's going to take to finally put down Ace Anderson.
It'll take putting down Ricky Valentine, I think. Tag to Sicario. Not sure that's wise, given the punishment Sicario has taken so far. Silencer!
Well, currently silencing that theory right there. As he kicks him in the gut. And then turns him out for a hammerlock DDT. Into the cover. But Ricky again, making sure that he breaks it up. That was their downfall in the one-on-one contenders match.
Ricky Valentine now rolling out of the ring after taking a spinebuster from Bryan Adams. But Ace Anderson with a back body drop gets control.
And Sicario and Ace now chasing Bryan out of the ring. Sicario though now having that moment to recuperate, and Sicario getting back into this matchup.
Sicario sending
the downfall of Ace there.
Sending Ace into the corner, but misjudged the drop kick.
Oh, and there we see the tandem offense of the Disciples. Bryan trips him up and gives Sicario the amount of time needed to hit that back suplex.
But Ace is getting back to his feet. And strikes Sicario.
The ego of the Disciples that many consider cost them at Verdict. And a super kick. That's how many super kicks is Ace going to get hit with in this match?
I think he might be hit by one too many very soon. Another silencer.
And into the cover. Ricky Valentine's down. 1, 2, 3. And the Disciples able to pick up the win here tonight. Very smart by the Disciples, isolated Ace Anderson for a heavy portion of that match, not getting Ricky Valentine to be able to break up the cover, and that was all it took for the Disciples to pick up the win.
The winner of the match, the team of the Disciples.
Coming up next, we have a #1 contendership for the women's title, and that is Adisa Lengu Okeke taking on Yuri York.
Yes, two women who, well, one who has been on quite the roll as of late with Adisa, pinning Andrea, pinning Rox, but then we have Yuri York, who is now currently one of Kel Valent's biggest enemies here on Nemesis. Both of them want this match. Both of them need this match.
The following match is set for one fall and is for the #1 contendership of the Nemesis Women's Championship. Introducing first, weighing 113 pounds, from Botswana, Africa, Adisa Lengau Okeke.
Primal is one word to describe this individual, as well as aggressive and a hunter. And that is Adisa Lengau Okeke, making her way down to the ring. Surprising victories in the last few weeks, taking on Andrea and Rox and beating them consecutively. This has given her the opportunity to shoot for the Nemesis Women's Championship. However, there is unfinished business between Yuri York and Kel Valen. Since Kel can only have one opponent coming up at Supremacy, it's going to have to be a fight between Disa and Yuri York to decide who becomes the number 1 contender.
Well, and you also have to think about that, like, how long ago was it considered that Adisa was just an afterthought here on Nemesis? Now she has to go up against the biggest star Nemesis has, Kel Valen.
So she could become part of the main event for Supremacy. That could be quite the show for her.
Yes, as now she looks to become less of an afterthought, as I said, but also, imagine if anyone had told you just a couple months ago, not only was Kel Valen still champion, but she was facing Adisa Okeke. Both of those have felt like very unreal possibilities, but now here we are, and they are both very real.
I think some would say we're living in the darkest timeline, but I'm not sure about that personally. As Adisa making her entrance here, she definitely seems confident in her victory here tonight.
Well, what reason doesn't she have to be? She's beaten Andrea, she's beaten Rox, now all tonight she has to do is beat Yuri York.
And her opponent, weighing 113 pounds, from Chicago, Illinois, Yuri York.
With determination and drive, Yuri York is making her way down to the ring.
After Andrea's loss at Verdict, Yuri York, I think she's looking to bring some pride back to White Lotus, trying to get another shot for White Lotus to take the belt off Kel.
And could the fact that Adisa has beaten Andrea play into some mind game factors?
Maybe it could, maybe it can't, but the thing is, Andrea and Yuri are very two different competitors.
That's a fair point to make.
Interesting to see how things go here tonight. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that if we look at Verdict, there's some that say Andrea was robbed in that match based off the stipulation, considering she pinned Kel Valen first. If it had been an Extreme Rules match, like was one of the other stipulations, or if it had just been a normal match, Andrea would be a new champion.
That is true. Swift kicks the back from Adisa. Right now, Yuri York's looking in trouble, but a jawbreaker gets her the upper hand. And a go-low drop kick takes Adisa off her feet.
Yes, and both these women, both of them considered snubbed from the Supremacy Cup. And you've got to think that these two are now fighting for a chance that they felt they should have had a long time ago. As Yuri hits that neck breaker onto Adisa, looking to wear down Adisa. And one thing you've got to keep in mind is Adisa's had multiple matches, in back-to-back weeks. Yuri hasn't had too many singles matches as of late. So, this could be a chance for her to be more rejuvenated compared to Adisa.
Indeed, and of course, there is a lot going on between Yuri York and Kel Valen right now, but Adisa with a fall-away slam. Now, grabbing the head of Yuri York. Adisa clearly in control now, sending Yuri York for a ride.
Yeah, so Adisa picks Yuri up to her feet. And again, it's one of those things where these two faced off before, but neither of them pinned the other back at Battle Lines. And Adisa almost stole one there from Yuri.
Another go.
Whoa.
Another Lagolo dropkick, and Adisa crawling into the corner to help her get to her feet. But Yuri York continuing the pressure.
Yes, Yuri York bringing the fight here tonight, knowing that she doesn't get many chances here on Nemesis. This could be her last chance for a bit, for, as the kids these days say, a minute. So, Adisa is going to be facing Yuri York at her A game.
And behind there goes Adisa, and now a vicious shot to the chest, but a return to sender for Yuri York.
Yes, as Yuri and Adisa both slide into the ring. Big back suplex by Adisa.
Adisa once again back in control off the ropes. Springboard. Oh, misses the crossbody.
Misses the crossbody as Yuri now goes to the top rope, but Adisa lands that knee. And another knee. Going to the top. What does she have in mind here?
This is not look good.
Head.
Superplex.
Superplex off of the top.
That's going to be it right there. 1, 2.
No. Adisa definitely turned the tides with that move, but it was not enough to keep York down.
Sent into the corner goes Adisa, goes York. Turned around by Adisa. What's she got in mind? Handspring.
A handspring forearm into the corner. Into the cover now. 2, no.
It's close. It was a close call there. Now Adisa looking to finish things off with Yuri York.
Looking to lock in a guillotine choke here. Got it hooked in. Legs are wrapped around. Is Yuri going to tap? Is she going to tap or pass out here?
She taps.
And she taps out. Adisa will be facing Cal Valen at Supremacy. Cal has the next challenger and is in the form of one Adisa Lingao kicking.
Very surprising outcome from, I have to say. But Adisa, I think, is going to go all the distance. And who knows, she could be the next Nemesis Women's Champion.
And keep in mind, Adisa, she's beat Andrea, who has technically a pinfall over Cal. She's beaten Vox, who is known, who have made waves back before Shadowband for destroying Cal Valen. Now she's beaten Yuri York, another White Lotus member. Adisa might have all the tools needed to end Cal Valen's reign.
The winner of the match and your new #1 contender, Adisa Lingao Okeke.
And now, we have a match for a golden opportunity. 4 out of these 5 men have never faced for a world title in one-on-one matches. One of these men is the former world champion, but only one of these men can leave #1 contender. Who is it going to be here tonight? I don't know, but I hope to find out along with all of you.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing match.
The following match is the main event of Nemesis and is a 5-man elimination match for the #1 contendership of the Nemesis Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, weighing 205 pounds, from Mexico City, Mexico, Flapjack Carter.
Down to the ring is Flapjack Carter, the current, one of the current tag team champions. We see him holding that belt of his corner, of course, member of the Disciples of Evil.
And recently lost his Twitch title to William Black, but we talked last match about how Adisa is very quickly become up in the upper echelons of the women's division.
Well, Flapjack, out of nowhere, becoming the Twitch champion and becoming one of the top people here on Nemesis.
Yes, becoming, well, not just winning the Twitch title, but then within the same month, winning the tag titles and becoming a double champion.
One hell of a rising star.
And his opponents, weighing 210 pounds, from Dudley, England, Connor Gates.
But if there's one person who's gotten inside of Flapjack's head and under his skin as of late, it's Connor Gates. The man who not just unmasked him, but when they say if it wasn't for Connor, he'd still have that match right now because he never lost the match versus title match.
That is true. That is very, very true. Connor definitely has got the mind game factor over Flapjack Carter. But will that matter here tonight? Where it's your wrestling ability that will be key.
From London, England, the British brawler, Daniel Chandler.
Somebody.
Bringing a bit of British class here to this match, we have Daniel Chandler making his way down to the ring.
Yes, Chandler having a bit of a resurgence as of late, and now he could become world champion. I mean, he's pinned the former world champion of BMS. He's pinned BMS's lackey in Youngblood Booth, and now he just needs to beat 4 other men, and he's going to face John Spartacus at Supremacy.
It's going to be one hell of an interesting fight, especially if Daniel Chandler can get the upper hand on this.
Weighing 236 pounds, from Scarsdale, New York, BMS, Brandon Michael Smith.
And here comes former Nemesis Heavyweight Champion, perhaps the greatest Nemesis Heavyweight Champion we've ever had in the form of Brandon Michael Smith.
Might have to disagree with you there, but one thing interesting about this is very few champions get a immediate #1 contender shot so soon after losing it. And another thing that BMS sort of has going for him is he's got his buddy, his pal, Youngblood Root in this match as well, so they could be teaming up to take out the competition.
Well, they're individual opponents. Of course they're not going to team up. That would be against the rules in these kind of matches.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't be too bad of a strategy if they decided to go against each other until they were the final 2.
I mean,
It's something I could see BMS doing. Definitely.
I don't deny it's an interesting and good strategy, but I couldn't see those two playing dirty. Not one bit.
BMS coming so close to that third defense and then getting bulldozed by John Spartacus. Now, he looks to get back in the saddle, maybe get another shot at the Gladiator.
Weighing 215 pounds, from Brooklyn, New York, Youngblood Rude.
Making his way down to the ring is Youngblood Rude. As you say, friend of Brandon Michael Smith, made the jump from Vindication to Nemesis just a few months ago, and has been a bit of a lackluster performance since arriving here, but he's been doing what he can to move his way up, and especially when you've got friends in high places like BMS.
Well, I mean, if you want to be tactical about it, he did technically win a world title match, but it was a handicap match, so it doesn't really count too much. But with Youngblood Root, he's always someone who, he's not an easy opponent, despite what his roster can expect.
No, he is not an easy opponent. He does not make things easy for you. He's unpredictable, and he's also very, very deadly when he's in that ring.
And now, all 5 competitors are in the ring. One thing left to do, and that's ring the bell.
And immediately, pandemonium is kicked off, with Brandon Michael Smith and Daniel Chandler going at it.
Daniel Chandler embarrassed Brandon Michael Smith by breaking his losing streak and beating Brandon Michael Smith not too long ago. I think BMS is looking for some retribution here tonight.
Not surprised, as Patrick Carter with a big backbreaker to Youngblood Root. Connor Gates keeping away from him.
Well, right now, every member of the Blue Ruthless Heroes is currently in a position to get some gold. William Black's Twitch champion, Alice Grace's #1 contenders for that title. Connor Gates has been sort of left to the wayside, and he's wanting to prove that he's not just a tag team contender. He's a singles contender as well.
Arm drag from Flapjack takes down Connor Gates. And now Brandon Michael Smith, look at this.
Staying targeted on Daniel Chandler. And now Flapjack and Connor going at it. This one seems appropriate. Flapjack and Connor being at each other's throats in the lead up to Battle Line.
Yeah, I can see that being a grudge match that wants to be settled. Youngblood just kind of in the middle of things and going for Daniel Chandler, looking to help out BMS it seems, but Daniel Chandler says no way.
This is Flapjack targeting the knee of Connor Gates, maybe looking for that modified figure 4 that he has.
Now BMS and Youngblood look to be going on it against Daniel Chandler right now.
And that's what I was saying earlier about the two of them teaming up. Maybe the fans might not like it, but it's a very smart strategy.
That's right now. Connor Gates and Flapjack Carter are going at it as well. Daniel Chandler getting a reprieve.
I've got to ask you, Scott, who do you have in this matchup?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, Daniel Chandler, although he isn't new here, he's not a new debutee, he is an unknown element to a lot of these individuals apart from BMS and Youngblood Rude. That's a factor. There's a big elbow from Youngblood. Youngblood himself with that metallic arm. He's got an equalizer. BMS is a former champion. He's got the experience factor. It's a who's who of anyone could have this one.
I'm going to go with the man who I feel like he's been clamoring for the shot for a while. I'm going to go with Connor Gates.
I think Flapjack Carter might have this one here tonight.
Daniel Chandler and Youngblood Rude continue to tee off on each other. BMS taking a very long breather at the moment.
Trying to recover, it seems, as Youngblood now dealing a bit dirty on Daniel Chandler right now. Pump handle position.
And watch this, a pump handle powerbomb.
Flapjack Carter gets caught by Connor Gates with a dragon screw.
Chandler just packing Youngblood Rude, and BMS just standing by, not watching his friend getting beaten by Daniel Chandler.
He's taking his sweet time. When you've got money like that, you can afford to relax a little bit.
Flapjack kicks off Connor Gates. And now roll up by Chandler on Youngblood. Not enough.
Connor Gates finding himself up on the top rope. But Flapjack not looking to follow up, or is he?
Oh no, Chandler has drawn the ire. Flapjack Carter. Now in the corner. STO into the turnbuckle.
Nice reverse STO hitting Flapjack's head right on the turnbuckle. Chandler with a pin attempt. Oh, but Connor Gates with a diving foot stomp.
Right onto the head of Chandler, and I think it might be a thing of, Connor Gates, after he has continued to make Flapjack Carter's life.
Look at this! Youngblood Rude and BMS!
Oh, Youngblood Rude and BMS have gone at each other. This partnership has appeared to have exploded here tonight.
It seems that Youngblood might have seen an opportunity to eliminate BMS, and BMS has taken exception to that.
What I'm saying with Connor is that I think he feels like he wants to be the one to eliminate Flapjack.
There is a bit of ego in there for Connor Gates. The thing is, will that get in the way of the victory? Butterfly suplex. Butterfly suplex.
BMS special.
BMS special.
And Youngblood's in a dangerous position right now. It is locked in tight. Will Youngblood be forced to tap out? No, he does not tap out.
Meanwhile, Connor Gates working on the arm of Daniel Chandler, and now looks like Flapjack and Gates are now to go back at it.
And a leg sweep. And now locking in that very dangerous submission. The referee, though, knocked over by Connor Gates and Flapjack.
Youngblood Rude has been eliminated.
And that is our first elimination of the contest.
Youngblood is out. Here we go, BMS versus Daniel Chandler, and now still Connor Gates and Flapjack going at it. As Flapjack is receiving some Flapjacks.
These four have paired off. And now another Russian leg sweep into another submission hold. BMS looking for his second elimination, maybe.
And Chandler
And he
tap.
finds it.
Daniel Chandler has been
We are down to the
eliminated.
final three. Flapjack, Gates, and Brandon Michael Smith. But now,
And just like that, we're down to 3 individuals. It's Flapjack Carter, Connor Gates, and BMS. BMS is now taking down Gates up on his feet, lifting up Flapjack.
turning Flapjack onto the ropes and just throwing him off. But now, BMS targeting the arm, looking for those BMS specials later on.
Breaking the arm. As he now goes for a headbutt, but an elbow shuts down that move from Connor Gates.
Connor Gates turning him around. 1, 2, 3 knees to the back, and a DDT for his troubles.
And Flapjack again focusing on Connor Gates. Oh, here we go.
Popping up. The rump fade to Connor Gates. That could be enough to put him away. The move that won him the tag titles. No, just a 2 count.
A very close 3 count though in that exchange. Kick to the middle from BMS, but it's Flapjack that takes advantage and clothesline to the back of Flapjack from BMS.
Oh, down in flames to BMS.
And all 3 individuals
all
are down.
3 men are down on the mat.
There's some
No
life in
one is
Flapjack.
moving. Flapjack's finally stirring to his feet. BMS finally stirring to his feet, and Connor finally getting up.
Elbow from Connor, but BMS looking to turn him around, interrupted by Flapjack. But as Flapjack overtakes Connor in the corner, BMS catches him with a backbreaker.
Now, BMS getting up. BMS special, locked in, center of the ring. Will Flapjack tap here? No, Flapjack able to fight out of it. That pitbull fighting from Flapjack Carter. But now, a temporary alliance between BMS and Connor Gates.
How long will it last?
Tear down Flapjack Carter.
Not long, it seems.
And now wrenching the arm and just stomping in the elbow. And now BMS setting up for that leg. Oh no! This time lifting him up into the Tiger Driver. 2, and Connor Gates again kicking out.
Turning around goes
It's
BMS.
incredible drop fade and a Tiger Driver. What is it going to take to put that man down?
We'll soon have to find out as Flapjack and Connor Gates now going back at it as BMS is out of the competition for now.
Now, goes to the arm drag. Flapjack rolls through, drop toe hold. Sends him into the corner. What has Flapjack got in mind here? We can find out as Connor sends Flapjack into the corner. BMS go for a throat chop on the both of them.
Connor
These
Gates.
two. These 3 going back and forth. Irate from Gates. Oh, went for the twisted view, but gets tossed to the mat by BMS.
BMS looking to get a comeback here. Close after clothesline, ducks the clothesline from Connor Gates, and then into a backbreaker.
Yes, as BMS picks up Connor, Flapjack interrupts him, and a kick to the stomach. And looking up for the BMS special number 2, the submission hold that won him the world title. Will it tap out Flapjack? And Flapjack has to give up.
Carter has
Flapjack
been
rolling out.
eliminated.
It's now between Connor Gates and BMS.
Oh, went for a spinning elbow, able to knock BMS against the ropes.
Will that be
Now,
enough?
Setting him off the ropes once more. There he is, finally connects that elbow flush. And that could be enough to put him away. 1, 2, is Connor Gates going to supremacy? No.
BMS kicking out with a drive to once again come on another twisted view.
And there's a twisted view. BMS blocked the first one, not able to block that one. Is the hook to bring BMS over. And Connor Gates is facing John Spartacus at supremacy.
What a grueling match that was between all 5 of these individuals.
There we see it was a very destructive matchup. We saw the partnership of EMS and Youngblood Rude possibly end here tonight.
In the end,
We saw
they all
The winner of the
they
main
all put it
event
on the line
and
with
your
Black
new
Jack Carter and
number one
everyone just giving it
contender,
their all, but in the
Connor
end it was
Gates.
Connor Gates that emerged victorious.
That's the truth of it. As that's been all for week 106 of Nemesis. I've been Alex Shaw. He's been Scott Sykes, and we bid you a very farewell adieu.
Good night, everyone.